You think you have a type, mysterious men, emotionally unavailable men, men who make you feel alive and then leave you feeling empty. You've told yourself, I just fall for the wrong ones. But Carl Jung discovered something terrifying, something no one wants to hear. You're not choosing the wrong man by accident. Your unconscious mind is choosing him for you. And until you understand why, you will keep repeating this pattern in every relationship, with every man, forever. Stay with me, because what Jung found in the deepest parts of the unconscious mind is the most dangerous truth about love you've never been told. Carl Jung spent 50 years studying the unconscious mind, the part of you that operates beneath your awareness, silently making decisions you don't even realize you're making. And he discovered something extraordinary about women specifically. Inside every woman's unconscious, Jung said, lives a hidden masculine figure. He called it the animus. The animus is not your enemy. In its healthy form, it gives you strength, clarity, ambition, and direction. But here's where it gets dark. When the animus is unintegrated, when a woman has never met this part of herself, it transforms into what Jung called the Animus Shadow. And the Animus Shadow does something terrifying. It doesn't stay inside you. It projects outward. It looks for a man, a real, living man, to carry all the qualities you have suppressed in yourself, the qualities you were told were too much, too aggressive, too powerful, too dark. And when you meet a man who carries those qualities, your unconscious lights up like a fire. You call it attraction. Jung called it projection. There is a difference, and that difference will change how you see every relationship you've ever had. Think about the men who have made you feel the most alive. Were they calm, consistent, and emotionally available, or were they intense, unpredictable, magnetic in a way that almost felt dangerous? Jung explained this pattern with one concept. We are attracted to what we have not integrated in ourselves. If you grew up in an environment where power was punished, where your anger was called too much, where your ambition was discouraged, you didn't lose those qualities, you buried them. And now you stand in front of a man who wears those buried qualities openly, who is bold, dark, unapologetic, and your unconscious screams, that, I need that. But you are not in love with him. You are in love with a part of yourself that you haven't met yet. And when the projection fades, and it always fades, you are left with a stranger. This is why the most intense relationships burn out the fastest. You weren't falling in love. You were searching for yourself. The names change. The faces change. But somehow, the story is always the same. Same emotional unavailability, same hot and cold behavior, same feeling of being almost loved, but not quite. Jung called this the repetition compulsion, but he understood it differently from Freud. He said, we don't repeat patterns because we are broken. We repeat them because the unconscious is trying to finish something. Your Animus Shadow is presenting you with the same type of man, over and over again, hoping that this time you will finally face what you're avoiding. What are you avoiding? Your own power, your own voice, the part of you that knows you deserve more, but is terrified to claim it. Every wrong man is a mirror. He is showing you the part of yourself you have not claimed. The pattern doesn't break by finding a better man. It breaks when you finally stop looking outside and start looking within. When you are with him, you slowly stop being you. You change your opinions. You shrink your ambitions. You become smaller, quieter, more acceptable. And the terrifying part? You do it willingly. Jung explained why. When the Animus Shadow is projected onto a man, a woman does not just admire his strength, she begins to live through him. His confidence becomes her confidence. His direction becomes her direction. His approval becomes her sense of self-worth. This is what Jung called animus possession, when the unconscious masculine has so much power inside you that it takes over, and suddenly a man's voice carries more weight than your own. You stop trusting your own judgment. You stop listening to your own instincts. You outsource your inner compass to someone who was never meant to carry it. And when he leaves, you don't just lose him, you lose yourself. Because you had given him the part of you that was supposed to stay. The more he hurts you, the more you feel connected to him. When the relationship is easy, you get bored. When it is painful, it feels real. Jung saw this clearly. He wrote about how the unconscious uses suffering as proof of meaning. The Animus Shadow does not want comfortable love. It wants the kind of love that wakes something up inside you, even if that thing is grief. Because grief, real grief, forces you inward. And going inward is exactly where the unconscious has been trying to lead you all along. The problem is, the shortcut doesn't work. You cannot reach your unconscious through another person's cruelty. You can only reach it through your own stillness. The man who keeps hurting you is not making you deeper. He is keeping you distracted from the depth that already lives inside you. A stable, consistent, emotionally available man walks into your life. He calls when he says he will. He shows up, he is gentle, and something inside you recoils. He's too nice. There's no spark. Something feels off. Jung would say, nothing is off with him. What is happening is that he carries none of your projected animus shadow. He cannot activate the unconscious pattern. He cannot mirror your buried darkness. He cannot give you the feeling of almost having something you've been chasing your whole life. And so your unconscious dismisses him. But here is the truth. Jung spent his entire career trying to tell us, peace is not boring. It is what you actually need. The spark you've been chasing is not love. It is the unresolved wound inside you, recognizing itself in someone else. Real love, integrated love, feels different. It does not consume you. It expands you. So what do you do with all of this? Jung's answer was not therapy. It was not leaving the relationship. It was individuation, the lifelong process of meeting every part of yourself, including the parts you have been running from. Start with one question. What qualities in the men I'm attracted to have I forbidden in myself? Write them down. Boldness, write it down. Anger, write it. Ambition, write it. Those are not qualities you need to find in a man. Those are qualities waiting to be claimed by you. When you begin to live them, when you stop needing a man to carry what is already yours, the projection dissolves. And for the first time, you will see men as they actually are. Not as mirrors, not as medicine, as human beings, separate from you and real. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Every man you've chosen was not fate. He was a message. And now, for the first time, you know how to read it. If this video changed the way you see your relationships, subscribe, because next week we go even deeper into the unconscious and what Jung said about the women who finally break free. I'll see you there.